So, you kind of feel a bit stupid for having done the news thing yesterday because this is really bad. And I'm really sorry that it's kind of interrupting the flow of the month, kind of year vlog thing, but this is seriously important. Today, or whilst I was asleep, Theresa May called for an election. Not good. Okay, so before I get into why I think this is so bad, we're going to quickly delve into the depths of what we know right now, and then we're going to theorise everything else. Okay, so the bones of this is that Theresa May stepped out onto Downing Street yesterday, as you guys are watching this, I think, and said, right, okay, I want an election on the 8th of June, which is less than 2 months away? Yeah, way less, like 6 weeks away. Not a lot of time to prepare. She said in a few interviews that the reason she's doing this is because she wants success for Brexit, mainly putting it down to the divisions within her party especially, and divisions throughout the government and kind of throughout the country. Now, as you know, the referendum was very tight. Yes, a majority voted for leave, but just under half the country voted to stay in. Again, that's a different issue. We've spoken about that before. I will not bring that back up. Now, a really interesting point that kind of got brought up a lot in the past 24 hours was that May had said since she'd been in office that she would not call a snap election. She said, no, we have a manifesto, we're going to keep to the manifesto, and we're going to run with it. Therefore, she's a liar. Plain and simple. I think it's pretty easy to see. Theresa May's a liar. She's a Conservative, that's why she's a liar. That's my view of it. Not a fan of Conservatives. She has also said in more recent interviews that she will not be going to do TV debates. I think this is really, really stupid. It's a really bad move on her part, and whoever's told her to do this isn't right in the head. Let me explain. The TV debate within politics has become extremely important. Why? Because it gives the leaders of the parties a chance to interact with the public. So it gives them a chance to put their manifesto into words, be asked questions, be put on the spot, and a lot of the time it's questions that they can't plan for, which is great. I mean, there is some kind of planning, I guess. I mean, you have the main issue, but you kind of have to think on your feet, which means they can be caught out on stuff that they're talking shit about. So for Theresa May to be saying now that she is not going to get involved in the debates, she's shooting herself in the foot and kind of gives a bit more of a chance to everyone else. There is a huge but here, and not mine. Just because it gives the other parties a bit more of a platform, it doesn't mean it's going to go well. Jeremy Corbyn has backed the early vote. Obviously he would. He doesn't like the Tories, he doesn't want the Tories in government, and he's been extremely critical of the Tories since they came into power and since he became the leader of the Labour Party. However, the polls at the moment have the Labour Party 21 points behind the Conservatives. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't actually know what 21 points means. I just know it's a lot. It's a big thing. It's big. Current estimations have the Labour Party coming in at less than 200 seats within Parliament. Now, this will be the first time since 1935 that this would have happened. You can't really construct a good opposition on less than 200 seats. Pretty simple. They actually think that the Tories will have a majority of over, I think it's an extra 140 seats. You need 360, I think they're looking at 500 seats. That's a lot. That's a lot for a government to hold. Now, where they're going to pick these seats up from, I'm not entirely sure, because I don't think it's going to be in Scotland. Here's my point, and here's my reasoning. There is some evidence to back this up, I think. At the last general election, the SNP overran Scotland. I mean, completely wiped every other party off the map. There are 3 seats they did not win. They went 1 Lib Dem, 1 Tory, 1 Labour, I believe. They completely eradicated any other party within Scotland, meaning that it gives them a bit more legitimacy when it comes to their argument of sovereignty. I don't want Scotland to leave. I think it'd be a bit daft, but there we go. That's another argument for another day. The fact that Labour lost so heavily within Scotland was a seriously bad thing for the party. It showed the downfall that they were really coming into, and that had occurred the whole way from the entirety of the first government of the Conservatives, the first Black Flag year. Like I said, we have 6 weeks until this election. I'm having to have a proxy vote, mainly because, I'm in New Zealand. I can't go down and write on a piece of paper who I want to go in. So I'm getting a proxy sorted out. I'm going to be voting. If I can vote from all the way over here, so can you. So what do I think is going to happen from here? Quite frankly, I think that Labour are going to get killed in this. A lot of people reckon that this is going to be the end of the Labour Party. There's a lot of references and a lot of similarities to what happened in the 1970s with Margaret Thatcher. It's not great. It's really not good. There's also talk that it could also destroy UKIP, which would be a bloody godsend, I must say. Why? Because UKIP haven't done anything since the referendum. They've not done anything. They've not put any good policy, well, they don't put a good policy forward anyway, but they haven't put any policies forward. They've literally just come through and said, right, we've left the EU, see you later. Their highest profile MP has left the party. And apparently he's gone back to Conservatives as well, so he's a shyster. That whole party of shysters. They should never have been let into Parliament. My preferred outcome? Honestly, I don't know. I really can't tell you what my preferred outcome is. Hopefully the Lib Dems bring something back to Parliament. I think they really deserve to. They did a lot before not the last election, before Nick Clegg kind of cocked it all up and went into cahoots with the Tories. That was really stupid. I think Tim Farron could do a lot of good work. I really hope he does, and I really hope he brings the Lib Dems back into it. I mean, I'm a Labour supporter, but with Corbyn in, and some of the policies that he wants to bring through, maybe not so much. I do think the Labour are going to take another massive hit this general election. I think that they are going to lose seats. Whether it's to the extent that a lot of people are reporting, I can't say. Obviously, I'm not a political journalist. I'm not an analyst. I am just someone who is concerned. And finally, I actually have a message for everybody back home. Please, for the love of God, if you love your country as much as you say you love it, please, please, please go and vote. Pay attention over the next 50 days, because these are probably the most important 50 days of our lives. For some of us, we've complained about the referendum result. This is our chance to have a say again. This is our chance to say how we want to leave. Whether we want it to be the stupidly hard Brexit, which means that the EU are going to hand our ass to us and give us no leeway, and therefore we're done for, or we can stay in a relatively good relationship with the European Union and actually have some benefit from it. There's a lot to go on with this general election, and it's not just around Brexit. We have things like the NHS, the care system, child services. There are so many issues that need to be addressed within this election. So please, 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 whatever time you have, just listen, do some research, and make an opinion. An educated opinion on who you want to be in office. I don't care if we have completely polarizing views on every issue under the sun. So long as you can turn to me and tell me you voted, I will have some respect for you. So mark it on your calendars. 8th of June is coming around fast. Get it sorted, get a vote ready, and prepare for political bloodbath.